Hey, this is Wolf from Armory Train, and come on up. Looks like this is Yuki as well. And today we're going to show you how to make a gourd drinking bottle. Now, this is important because for the last week I've had this manly pink water bottle floating around, and unfortunately most of Yuki's toys are also pink, so she keeps trying to steal this water bottle on me. So we're going to dress it up today to make it look like a drinking gourd, which is normally a hollowed out pumpkin type plant, and see how we do. Now, the plan with this is to glue a couple of layers of EVA floor mat around the bottom and around the top, leaving the waist as thin as possible, and then sculpting some light clay over the top of it. Now, the top here, when you twist it, the drinking spout comes out, which is pretty cool, you know. Yes, small things amuse small minds. So I think some rub and buff on the outside of this, and as long as I don't put anything where the lips are going to go on that, I shouldn't poison myself. So the first step is, with my bit of floor mat, I'm going to cut a couple of strips and then contact adhesive them onto the bottle. Now, as you can see, the bottle is not straight up and down, so this is going to be a fiddly little task. So once I get it glued on and have stopped swearing at it, I'll get back to you. So as you can see, I've added some foam to the bottle. The contact adhesive and this bottle plastic were not the best of friends, so it does have some electrical tape around it as well. I then got my Dremel, and being careful not to punch any holes in the bottle, which would kind of make this whole project pointless, I've just taken some of the edges off to make it easier to put the clay on. Now, the clay that I'm using is a light clay. I think this one came from Big W here in Australia, and the 6-pack of it, and this whole thing weighs like 200 grams maybe. So I'll be using this and smoothing on over the top of the 2 rings, and then we shall see in a couple of hours time how this looks. Okay, water bottle update. I've put the light clay on the bottle and shaped it, and it's come up with a shape that I like. I like this one. It might be a tad top heavy, but I don't mind it. Problem is though that I've asked too much of my material. And if you can see, the light clay didn't like being flexed as much as I did as I was putting it on, and unfortunately it's cracked. But now, 2 days later that it's fully dry, this whole thing still only weighs about 150 grams. I'm going to coat it with PVA glue and tissues, so my standard paper mache thing. And while I'm working on it, going to use this old rum bottle as a stand, because it's such an awkward shape to try and hang on to. I can just slip it onto the bottle. Who says old bottles aren't of use? So once I paper mache that, I'm going to hit the top with some silver rub and buff, unless of course I can find some bronze here, but I think it'll be silver. And then I'll get back to you and show you how it looks. Okay, the water gourd is finished and painted and ready to tie to the belt of my trader character. Now, if I was going to remake this one, I'd probably pick a taller water bottle to give me a little bit better proportions, but all in all I'm pretty happy. Now, this ribbon tied around it would be replaced with a piece of soft sash cord, except that's out in my workshop, and it's cold and it's dark and it's pouring down with rain. And as much as I love you guys watching my videos, I'm not going out there just to get the bit of sash cord. Now, you'll notice that the very top of it is still pink. That's so it can be extended and drunk out of without putting rub and buff in your mouth, which, you know, isn't real toxic, but you probably shouldn't eat it. Anyway, I'd like to dedicate this video to Mika the Fairy, who, if she hadn't been talking about gourds that she got and how she wasn't happy with them, would have never ever inspired me to build one of my own to show her that, hey, you can just make one if you're not happy with the ones you've got. And gourds come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, so your imagination is pretty much the only limit on what shape you want. As long as it bulges enough at the top to tie something onto it so you can hang it on your belt, you're golden. So anyway, this is Wolf from Armoury Train saying, stay in and build something.